What's going on, y'all? It's been a little while, man, but not too much coming out in Giants land and NFL land altogether with the offseason slowing down a bit. We continue to ramp up towards the NFL draft. No moves have been made as of yet, but last thing we left off with was the Vikings potentially trading up, and that still seems like be like the direction that they're heading in. Now, for the Giants, there's been a couple of interviews the past couple of days when it comes to John Mara, Joe Shane, Brian Daboll, and we're going to be piecing apart a little bit of the pieces that came from that. Now, the biggest headliner coming out of it is John Mara giving the blessing. John Mara is speaking to interviewers, and he was just letting them know, hey, he's not against getting a QB. If Joe Shane and Brian Daboll feel like they want to get a QB in this draft, then he gives them that blessing to go up, move up, do whatever you got to do to go get one. Now, the biggest piece of this puzzle has always been not whether the Giants want a QB, it's whether they can actually get one. As we know, the top three picks are slated. It's going to be the top three guys: Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and even Drake May. Now, there's some rumblings talking about J.J. McCarthy possibly being two. Man, either everyone's using J.J. McCarthy to be like a smokescreen, or I don't know what it is, man. Because J.J. McCarthy, this guy was looking like a second-round quarterback. Now he's projected to go number 2. It's crazy what this guy's stock has been. It continues to rise, and you've seen it the past couple of years. But right now, I feel like J.J. McCarthy, his stock is at an all-time high. I've never seen it be picked up this fast, this quick. Now, with John Mara giving that blessing, will the Giants be able to do so? Will they trade up? I don't think they will. If they wanted to, though, I think they can get it done. Because if I'm the Cardinals, I want to be able to get some stockpile, some picks, but also still get my guy that I want, still get a top receiver. And us being at pick number 6 allows us to be that. Now, you're the Vikings, you're trading up. They're going to move all the way back to 11. They're not going to get that premier guy that they wanted, like Marvin Harrison Jr. or even a Malik Neighbors or Rome Odunze. So I think if the Giants are willing to, they can possibly get it done, but I don't see them wanting to trade up, especially considering who's going to be on the board. Most likely is going to be J.J. McCarthy, and if you're asking me, I don't want to trade up to go get J.J. McCarthy. I'm probably taking J.J. McCarthy if he falls to 6. If he falls to 6 and he's a quarterback available, I think the Giants will end up taking that pick. And that's without the Vikings trading up. Because if the Vikings trade up with either the Chargers, who are sitting at 5, or the Cardinals sitting at 4, there is no world where J.J. McCarthy slips to 6. So at that point, you're being stuck with the receiver. I think you'll see them take one. Now, the question is, are they going to move on to go get a Penix? Are they going to possibly want to get a Bo Nix? I don't see them being too invested in Bo Nix, but Penix I can possibly see as a move later in the rounds. It's just a matter of will it actually happen for the Giants, or will they pull that trigger? John Mara giving that blessing is just him saying, I'm not the owner that you guys paint me to be. I'm not that owner that steps in and changes plans when I want him to, because obviously everyone thinks that John Mara loves Daniel Jones, and he probably still does, but he's not making these decisions like we all think he is. He's not going to butt in and give Saquon Barkley the contract that he wants, because he already let it known. Saquon Barkley going to the Eagles makes him sick. Guess what? It still makes me sick a little bit, but I'm cool with the amount that the Eagles gave him. I wasn't going to expect the Giants to do that as well. So when you think about where the Giants are right now with John Mara making those statements, they're going to be headliners. But once again, with John Mara speaking on the quarterback situation altogether, it kind of shows, hey, are the Giants really willing to go for a QB or not? And Joe Shane might be a little upset because this man is telling them how Joe Shane and Brian Daboll has been telling them it's a top QB class and possibly showing their cards. But once again, the question has always been, will there be a quarterback available for them? And still, that remains to be unseen. Big things that Brian Daboll did touch on, he was pretty much saying, hey, last year was last year. There's definitely a lot of things he could have fixed. There's a lot of things that he could have changed from him personally and possibly made a better impact on the team or the other coaches altogether. But another big thing coming from Brian Daboll was him discussing if he's going to call plays next year. Now, I've been told you guys for a while, I want Brian Daboll to call the plays. He needs to call the plays. If you're this offensive guru that you are, there's no way we had the worst ranked offense last year. That shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the game plan. We shouldn't even be near the bottom because, once again, you saw what he was doing in Buffalo. Do we have the same pieces of Buffalo? No. But Brian Daboll needs to leave an imprint left on this team. If he's going to go out, if we suck next year and this guy's going to get fired, go out swinging. Put it in your hands. Try to get this offense right. There's no reason this offense should be that bad. And we know the offensive line was a big reason why. But if I'm Brian Daboll, I really want to see him call plays. And the fact that he's even deciding if he should, that kind of means that he will, in my opinion. It's still pretty early, but I think it definitely means that he's kind of leaning into that direction, because if you ask him 2 years prior, he's not going to say that he's considering calling plays. It's still Mike Kafka. So they talked about Mike Kafka still being, assistant head coach and trying to give him some head coaching tips. But overall, man, the biggest thing coming from Brian Daboll is him calling plays moving forward. Will it be for a new QB? Will it be for Daniel Jones? That remains to be unseen. Now, another big headliner coming past this weekend, and I spoke on it in a couple of my lives, a couple of my videos. Daniel Jones playing next year? We don't know. We really don't know. Can he be healthy by the beginning of the year? That's the biggest question mark. We all think that he's going to probably start missing the first 4 games as everyone else does when they come back from a serious injury. Some people think maybe he could be back by week 2. But some people think within the organization that his injury history is serious. And if you think his injury history is that serious, do you even throw him out there? We know he's had the neck injuries. We know he's coming off of ACL. We know he has a bum ankle every other year. Daniel Jones gets hurt every single year. Outside of the 1 year that we really needed him to stay healthy and we went to the playoffs, that's the only time Daniel Jones made every game and made an appearance. Once again, I've spoken a little bit. With his injury history, will Daniel Jones be starting next year? Will he even be put out there to start? You can see the Giants. Another reason why I think you can't rule out him not playing is you look at the Broncos. The Broncos are going to pay Daniel Jones. Not Daniel Jones. The Broncos are going to pay Russell Wilson all that money, and they elected to just ship him out and not even care about that money. Take the cap hit. We'll move on with something else. Could you see the Giants making a move like that? Maybe. If the Broncos can do it, why not the Giants? Especially considering the injury history, considering everything that we know about Daniel Jones up until this point. You can't rule it out. Is Daniel Jones any more safe than Russell Wilson? The contract is the contract, but that didn't stop the Broncos. So I think when you think about where Daniel Jones is and when you think about where the Giants are, if they draft a QB, will you see Daniel Jones suit up at all? Possibly he still can. This is all speculation once again. But I think if you look at what the regime knows and we look at from the people on the inside knows, we all know he gets hurt. We all know he's probably one more neck injury away from being away from football. And I hope he doesn't get that. I hope he doesn't get close to that. But we have to be realistic, man. Once again, not too much going on in Giants land, but if there's anything else that does come out, I'll be dropping a video on that. We will be live tomorrow night, Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. We're always live, so make sure you tune in tomorrow. It's going to be insightful. We're going to talk about this draft, possibly do a couple of mock drafts. We'll see, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Let me know how you feel down in the comments, man. Peace.